Hi guys, I'm very excited to share my most recent pickups with you, and as you can see here, it is wave 2 of the vintage Saga collection, which came out, this wave came out in 2007. Been wanting to find these for ages, could not find them at a decent price, but very recently I did, so here they are. Won't mess around, I'll get straight into it. So first up we've got the Imperial Stormtrooper in Hoth Battle Gear, or as we all know it, the Snowtrooper. Now these figures do have this special offer sticker on the front, and I think there's something inside the packet as well. Yeah, I don't like those stickers. I will do my very best to remove them, hopefully without damaging the clamshells. They block the image of the vintage card, which is, in my opinion, the whole reason why you buy these, as a collector anyway. I think this might be, these might be, there's a warning sticker up the top there too. My wave 1 figures didn't have that. I think this might be a European version of these figures, but anyway, it doesn't matter, but I do want to get those stickers off the front. I've heard you can soak them in Zippo lighter fluid or something like that, and it makes it a bit easier to come off. And then we've got IG-88 Bounty Hunter. Now we get 5 Empire Strikes Back figures in this wave, and I couldn't be happier. You're probably sick of hearing me say it. Empire Strikes Back is my favourite Star Wars movie. Yeah, so it's really cool to get these IG-88 and Bossk on vintage cards. They didn't re-release new figures when they did the actual vintage collection, so there was no vintage carded Bossk or IG-88 in the vintage collection. So it's very cool to get these. That actually looks like a really great figure. I'd love to crack these open and have a play around with them, but I will not be doing that. Barcode sticker fell off the bottom there. And what I loved about what they did with not only the vintage Saga collection figures, but the vintage original trilogy collection figures and some of the vintage collection figures, was they showed the original release of the figure from back in the day. So we got Luke Skywalker in Bespin Fatigues here. This figure was redone and released in the vintage collection, and the vintage collection version it's got the ball hinged hips, and it sort of looks like it's wearing a nappy, but it is a better figure than this one. I have to say the vintage Luke Bespin and the vintage Han Bespin were probably my 2 favourite vintage figures back in the day, but unfortunately I don't have them anymore. And then we've got Han Solo in Hoth Outfit. It's a bit weird they did his headgear in this version, given they're showing him wearing the fur hat on top of this cap, but as far as I can see, all you get is the cap. You don't get the fur hood, but they fixed that up in later versions. This was another one of my favourite vintage figures actually. I love my Hoth Han. And then last but not least, we get a Return of the Jedi figure, and as you can see, it is Leia in what do they call it? Combat Poncho or something. So it's very cool to pick that up as well. I did have that figure as a kid too. Alright, so while I've got you, might as well show you wave 1 of the vintage Saga collection as well. Starting off with Sand People and this is actually a really cool figure. All these figures were pretty cool, especially for back in the day. I have a couple of these loose. Despite its swivel elbows, it's a pretty well done figure, nicely painted underneath, and I like the way they've done the soft goods robes type thing that he's wearing. So very, very cool figure indeed. And next up is Greedo. This is pretty good. I don't know about I love soft goods, but I don't know about the vest on this occasion. I don't know that he's in the movie his vest is furry. I thought it was like a leather type thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know that in this case the soft goods that they've done here is the best they could have done. But and I also had the Greedo, the vintage figure, as a kid, and that's odd. The vintage figure. Some of those vintage Star Wars figures, they look nothing like or at least the clothing they were wearing looked nothing like the on-screen stuff. It's hilarious. And then we've got Luke Skywalker, X-Wing pilot. This is not bad. I don't know about the likeness from a young Mark Hamill, but the rest of the pilot body and his gear and all that sort of stuff. The removable helmet looks nice. Again, don't forget this wave came out in 2006. And of course I had that vintage figure as a kid. I think everyone did. Pretty much had all of this wave in vintage form. And I really like this figure. I think they reuse this a lot. I don't know if this has ever been updated, really. I mean, they've done repaints on it, but the Biker Scout's really nice. Unfortunately, the torso seems to be yellowing a bit. I hadn't noticed that until I made this video. It's a bit of a shame. The torso armor, yeah, still looks pretty good. There's the original vintage release on the back. Had a few of those. Had a few of those speeder bikes that, when you push the button on the back, they exploded. And then the last figure or at least the last figure is part of the regular wave one, was Han Solo in trench coat. I recently picked up a version of this, the Black Series version, a loose, it was boxed and I opened it up, so I added that to my loose collection. So that was wave one. Alright, so here is my vintage original trilogy collection and the vintage Saga collection wall, which is pretty much complete. I consider it to be complete. There's only one figure missing, and that is the mail-away George Lucas figure. I'm not in a hurry to pick this figure up, and to be honest, I couldn't care less if I never pick it up. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, the head sculpt on this looks like a pretty good likeness to a younger George Lucas. But to be honest, George, buddy, I love you. You're the creator, but I'm sorry. I really don't care if I own a figure of you in a Stormtrooper disguise or not. And I think that'll do it for this video. I just wanted to share that pick up with you guys. I was really excited to finally get that second wave, with all that, especially with all that Empire Strikes Back goodness in that wave too. 5 out of the 6 figures being Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and as always, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe if you have not already, and may the Force be with you.